Bulldog Nation, you are now going to witness, watch, and listen to the best podcast in the league. Get set for a wild ride with From the Hill Podcast, featuring Wayne Cartwright, Damian Green, Tenarius Gooden, David Thomas, Jennifer Murray, and Corey Williams. Don't miss out. Subscribe now to From the Hill Podcast. It's time to turn up the excitement and make some noise.
Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody?
What up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, another great day to be a Bulldog.
Yes, it is.
So I just want to just say, opening up here tonight, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who is tuning in, just as you always do. All right. Want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to hit the like button tonight. Make sure if you have not subscribed, if this is your first time ever joining us, make sure that you do that as well. Across the bottom of the screen, we have our latest updates of our fall sports schedules. So as you can see, we've got a lot of things in full effect. But I want to start first with this bottom line of this screen and just send a big shout out to our Lady Bulldog soccer team on getting their first win of the season over Howard on Sunday.
Yeah, congratulations, Bulldogs.
Yes.
But what makes that very significant is not only was it their first victory of the season, Howard made the NCAA tournament last year by winning the Northeast Conference. So that is a very good program building win for those ladies. So big shout out to Coach Prince and all of those ladies who are doing great things. So awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tonight we are continuing with our Football Days in Huntsville series as we conclude that series tonight, as we are getting ourselves ready for the official kickoff of our 2025 Bulldog season. And I know everybody's been waiting. All these predictions have been made. All this talking's been done. But now it's actually time for, as the old guys used to say, for toe to meet leather.
BTA, belts to ass.
So family, tonight we are excited. And we're excited that we have a good group of men. I'm selling them. So we have a great group of men that are joining us tonight. So as you can, everybody just participate in the comments. But I want to welcome to our show. 3 of these gentlemen have been on our show before, and we're welcoming one. So I want to welcome for the first time to our show, Special Teams Coordinator Amos Jones. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, and thank you for having us.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great.
And then next, we'd like to bring in Defensive Coordinator Chris Schelling. Good evening to you, Coach. And he is frozen. All right.
There he is.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Coach. Coach Schelling.
Coach
All right.
Schelling.
And then we also want to bring in the OC of the group, Coach Alexander. Good evening, sir.
The OC, what's going on, fellas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up, Coach?
Yes, sir.
And then last but definitely not least, we'd like to welcome in, preparing to kick off his first season as our new head coach of the A&M Bulldog football team. Ladies and gentlemen, for the second time, please welcome Coach Sam Shade. Good evening, Coach Shade.
Good evening, guys. Thanks for having me, man.
What's up, Coach Shade?
All right, guys.
Yeah, so we got a full house here, and we're gonna have a great time. So first and foremost, before we get into these questions tonight, I want to give Coach Jones, Amos Jones, the opportunity to introduce himself to Bulldog Nation here on From the Hill podcast. So tell the folks where you come from, what you're into, and all that good stuff, Coach Jones.
Well, I'm a guy from a small town in West Alabama called Aliceville, about 50 miles from Tuscaloosa. went to the university and played for Coach Bryant. Got my coaching career started with Coach Bryant as a graduate assistant. And then through the years, I kind of migrated back to Alabama. And, I'm happy to be here. Glad to get up here to help Coach Shade get this thing started in Huntsville, and looking forward to it. Enjoyed a good fall camp, and just really excited about it. But you can find me when I'm not in Huntsville. I'll be in Northport on the Lake.
Good stuff. My first question is going to be to all you gentlemen, kind of not football related, but you guys have been in Huntsville for a few months now. How is everything? How's the family? How's the Rocket City and Alabama A&M been treating you guys? We can start with Coach Shade first.
Well, for me, it's been great. My wife and I, we're really enjoying it. Our youngest son is here with us. He's a junior this year up on the hill. He's enjoying it, majoring in computer science. And my other kids, they've all came to visit, and they're also enjoying it. So it's been great.
Coach Alexander.
Yeah, man, it's been good for us too. My family came up at the end of May once the school year was over. So we kind of made the move then. We brought all our stuff from Birmingham, man. You never know how much stuff you got till it's time for you to move. We had to make like 2 trips, man. Had to get a storage room and all of that. That's the worst part of this job, really. But they came up this summer, man. We got them enrolled. My son now, he's going to the 8th grade. He's in Academy for Science and Learning. My daughter is going to Jones Valley Elementary School. So we got them all settled in, man. They're making new friends. They're hanging out. So we all locked in and ready to go now.
Nice. What about you, Coach Shellen?
Well, I'm returning to the Hill. My family was already here. My oldest son, he goes to Hazel Green. He's a senior, and I have a 12-year-old. He's 7th grade at Meridianville Middle School. So they're excited. They had their first game last week. Both of them played well, and I'm just glad I can be in town so I can catch most of their games now.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, Coach Jones.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I had spent a few years recruiting through the years in Alabama, not much in Huntsville, but I've been very impressed with the city. Go downtown a little bit when we can. And, my family's in and out. I've got a daughter in Arizona, son in Nashville, son playing baseball in Indiana. And then Nathan, our middle son, is here with me helping us on special teams. So I'm grateful for that, because at least I got one of the 8 of us or 9 of us now, counting a new daughter-in-law. So we're excited. I'm really excited about Huntsville. Played with a lot of guys from Huntsville through the years when we were at Alabama, coached a few of them, but have been very impressed. Very, very much so with the city.
Awesome. All right, coaches. We have been getting a bird's eye view of practices throughout the off season, and it has been so entertaining. Can y'all tell us what has been some of the personal highlights for y'all just preparing for this upcoming season?
Well, I'll start off and say, for myself, just the buy-in from our players. That doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes it might take an entire season before you really get that buy-in from a group of players that you didn't recruit. Some of them you didn't recruit, some of them you never had relationships with, but just the buy-in from the team has been great for myself, and I know the coaching staff. We talk about it.
Yeah, I'll say for me, man, it's really just getting to know these guys, a little bit deeper than what we did in the spring. Just spending a lot more time with them. Camp. You kind of with them a long time in camp. There are no time limits as far as how much time you can spend with them on the field and off the field, and that's kind of what that time is for. But just getting to learn these guys a little bit, deeper on a personal level, just getting that bond with those guys from a coach to player relationship. It's been real fun, man. And then just to be able to, see them let their hair down some with the talent shows and stuff like that, and letting them, kind of, just be themselves has been really good for me.
Okay. I can say the same thing about the bond that we've built with these guys. Like Coach Shea said, it's been really quick. And these guys that bought in, I have my Africa thing, but these guys, they love it. They're all in tune. The atmosphere at practice has been great. They're feeling themselves, and I just love the way they're playing right now.
I would come in with it. The greatest thing about special teams has always been about me. For me, has been that I get to know all the players. Both sides of the ball. I think Coach Chris and Coach Dennis, do a great job on both their side of the ball, getting to know the other side. And from the special team standpoint, just getting to know all the players, I think we've got a great group of guys. It's been January since to now, and obviously there's a lot of time in between there. But that's the thing, college football's changed. We had a long spring, we had a long summer, and we had a long training camp. Now it's time to put the pads on and go hit somebody else.
There we go. There
All
we go.
All right, coaches. Hey, I'm going to piggyback off a little bit of what Jay stated, but I guess I'll start with you, Coach Jones. You mentioned that the whole coaching staff was here in the spring. Okay. And what I want to know from each one of you guys, when you saw, I'm pretty sure you evaluate, because we in a season in college football, sometimes, rosters are not the same, and for whichever reason. But Coach Jones, when you saw everything you was working with from special teams, what was the first thing that you told Coach Shade?
Well, Coach Shade, I got lucky. He's had a special teams background. So we knew we needed a snapper right off the bat because the other kid had left in the portal, not knowing us. He just left before we ever got here. So going out and being able to recruit in that spring area where there were some leftover high school kids, we were able to sign a punter. We were able to sign a place kicker. And so, from that standpoint, it's been unique. So we were able to identify some issues we had in the spring and get them solved in the January, February recruiting period, which, nowadays guys don't recruit too much in high school, but Coach Shade's made a priority for it. So I was grateful for that. And, just from the standpoint of the depth of the team, building the offense and defensive line, building depth at every position, I think we've accomplished that.
Okay. Coach Alexander, when you saw the offensive line, because you're with a lot of experience with offensive line and also offensive coordinator, what was the first thing that you identified as far as with Coach Shade? Did you say, hey, we got to go get some more big bodies, or hey, what was the first thing that you told Coach Shade?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, when we first got here, there were some guys that were still around. Then we did have some to make the decision to jump in the portal. And it was a little bit late, in late January, which is late for everybody. But you do have to address those needs, and we were able to go and get some, just like Coach Jones said, some high school guys that we feel like can give us some depth as of right now. Probably not ready to be starters right away, but have the opportunity to grow, into the program and be starters, as we get going. But just to kind of, build on the depth. I mean, I think last year's group was a little bit young outside of Carson Vincent. We all know about him. So we were a little bit young, but those guys, they had some ability. So we did our best to try to keep those guys around, and I think for the most part we kept the nucleus around, and we just kind of tried to build around those guys as well too. And then at every other position, we just right now you just have to find guys, man, because the turnover in players nowadays is just is so much. And you never know. You walk into a building one day and the kid is all in, and then the next day, he's in compliance, ready to jump in the portal. So you just have to be ready, every day, for whatever that challenge brings to you.
Oh, awesome. Coach Shelton, of course, I started off with special teams, and I'm ending it with defense because those are two areas that was a emphasis, and I know those are two areas that was that we needed to improve on. So, what was the first thing that you did, and as far as evaluating your defense, and where you want to go with that?
Well, I just came in trying to see what guys that was hungry, what guys who went out there and could tackle and run to the ball, wanting to give a lot of effort. So after the spring, we had to go and get some D linemen. Everything starts up front. I think we brought in about 11 or 12 D linemen after the spring, so we could change this thing up. And I think we brought in some good guys. Smallwood, Eldridge, and we got JB. We brought in some guys up front that can really help us because that's where the change needs to be. Well, we still got a couple of guys at the linebacker spot from the old team, Biombi and those guys, and we had to bring in some transfers, some guys that can play in the secondary. And I think we've done a good job of evaluating talent, but we always can get more. And we're still out there shopping. We're gonna try to bring in the best players we can.
Awesome.
Coach Shelley, I want to go back to this Africa thing, this trip that you taking the players on quite often. We had Demetrius on last week, and that's one thing that he said. You always come out screaming Africa, Africa, Africa. So first, tell us where that comes from, and then the other thing that he said was, and he said this about the entire coaching staff, is that you guys come out with so much energy during practice. So touch on that, why it's important that you guys come out to practice the way that you do.
Well, it's always a mindset. Football is built off of momentum, and you have to play with an edge. So I try to get those guys started every morning. When you wake up, you have to be in Africa. Either you're going to be a lion where you're going to be chasing the food, or you're going to be a gazelle where you're going to be running away. And typically we're going to be that lion. We're going to be always chasing that ball, trying to get to it. So, I just try to get them guys some kind of atmosphere to look at that. We got to be hungry. We got to go chase. We got to want to eat. So that's part of the mentality that we have to bring on defense. And, we have to be violent. So, I think our coaching staff, they help the guys a lot with keeping their emotions high, because you have to play with that edge. And I think we do a good job with that.
All right. So where we are here on Saturday, all right, you guys are getting ready to take on the Arkansas Razorbacks. They were 7-6 last year. Sam Pittman, 6th year as the head coach. Bobby Petrino, somebody we all know pretty well, as the offensive coordinator, and led by their redshirt senior quarterback, Taylon Green. So Coach Shade, and then gentlemen, just kind of round robin here. Coach Shade, just talk a little bit about Arkansas and just what you guys have seen from them, and then talk about the preparement, what you guys have done to prepare for this game on Saturday.
Well, you take a look at Arkansas. They're a team, like you said, coming off of 7-6. I think they're a team that's going to have an opportunity to compete in the SEC for that SEC. Possibly the title, because you look at it, starts with quarterback Taylon Green, redshirt senior. He can do it all. He can run, he can throw, he can buy time for receivers to get open, and then they've gone out on both sides of the ball and brought in some really good transfers across the board. On the offensive line, they brought in some transfers. Defensively, they had some guys that actually came back starting up front. Both defensive tackles came back, really good players. And you go to the second level, the linebacking group, got some guys returning that are really good. And in the secondary, they went out and brought in some pieces to add to what they had. So, we're going to have our work cut out for us against this team. And, they're talking about, Coach Petrino, this is his second year as the OC there. And historically, that second year for his offenses have been really good. So we got a strong test on Saturday.
Yeah, Coach Alexander, from the OC side, what have you done in preparations?
Yeah, man. So I think the first thing, when you're getting ready to play a team is, you have to start by looking at their personnel. And just to kind of piggyback off Coach Shea, man, their personnel, man, is pretty good. And you're gonna always start with the run game, trying to see what we can do in the run game. Where can we find, an advantage? And their personnel is pretty good. I mean, they return a lot of guys up front. The number 5 kid, Cam Bell, is pretty impressive. He's going to be an all-conference guy, possibly a draft pick. So he's going to be a guy that we're going to have to know where he is on the field. They also have a DN that's like 6'6", 275, and Quincy Rhodes. He's another player up front that he's just got the freakish style body that can run. He can also play with power too. And then, on the back end, if you just go, you look at their secondary, they don't have a DB that's shorter than like 6'2", so they have guys everywhere. So, I'm not saying it in a way that we're intimidated. We're going to go and play them. We're going to find, different matchups where we're going to have some success at, but they do have some players, and we got to know where they are, and we got to, capitalize on our opportunities when we have them. So, we've done a good job of studying them. We've seen all of their games from last season. We think we've got a good plan for them. We got to go out and play, no doubt about that. But we feel like we got an opportunity to make some plays.
Coach Schelling, I mentioned Taylor Green and I mentioned that offense. So from the defensive side of things, where do we sit in this preparation?
Well, it's going to be a battle, man. They got some players, First start up front on the O-line. I think they returned 3 or 4 guys, and they brought in some transfers up front. And then, as a defensive guy, you got to stop the run first. And I think they got 3 dynamic running backs. They got some big guys. They got a fast guy that they brought in. And, just like you talk about the quarterback, he's a scrambler. He can pass. He can do it all. And he got some receivers out there that can help him. So we're going to be challenged on defense. And we're going to ball down, and we're going to go to Africa, and we're going to fight.
Oh man. And lastly, Coach Jones, I know on special teams, I know you guys, obviously that opening kickoff, you guys get on the field first, your unit, and it should be pretty loud. So, from the very start, where are you guys at on special teams in this game?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, like us, they hit the portal a little bit. Their snapper's back. They hit a portal on the return guy. They have a kickoff specialist that came in from another place. Now, whether or not he's the field goal kicker or not, who knows? They have a freshman that they signed also as place kicker. Punter's back for the most part. A lot of their team is back that played for them last year. Our biggest thing is you said the kickoff usually starts the game. So that's what we challenge our guys is, hey, the kickoff should show if we came to play. And if we put it in play that first play, we better make the tackle. If they fair catch it, we better be down there making sure he knows we were down there. We want to finish in the end zone, whatever happens and whatever comes off the tee, we got to cover it. So it doesn't really matter in that respect. But got a lot of respect for Sam Pittman. I was at the University of Cincinnati after Sam. I had some of the players up there that were still there when Sam was the offensive or the tight end coach at the time up there. So I've known who Sam was for a long time and really respect him. I think he's, got the team probably where he wants it. We just got to go over there and challenge and do the things we can do and try to control the game on field position through special teams.
Mm-hmm. Take yourself off mute, T.
Look at me. I pulled my best Jennifer Murray impression.
Don't do that because I'm off. Don't do that because I'm off mute. Thank you. Just run your question. Thank you.
So I posed a question to the gentleman last week. You guys have played on some of the biggest stages, whether it be college or professional. Quad and Biombi, they went down to Auburn, last year and played in that atmosphere. Corey and I and Jennifer were down there as fans, and even as a fan, it's a little overwhelming. As a fan, when your team is doesn't have the numbers that their team has. So how are you gentlemen preparing, Coach Shay, how are you preparing the entire team to get ready for that? And Coach Alexander, how you trying to make sure your quarterback and offense is calm? Coach Shelling, how are you trying to get those guys amped up? And Coach Jones, like, okay, you kind of answered the question last time, like how are you setting the tone for kickoff? I just want to know how you guys are approaching that atmosphere that you're going to be going into on Saturday.
Well, as far as the entire team, we've talked about it the entire off season, really. Because we always talk about that first ball game. That's the one that you're working towards in the off season. You're working towards a 12-game season, but that first one is the one that gets you started. And you always want to work toward that one. So we know they're going to have a huge crowd out there. It's a sellout. They're going to have a bunch of people in the stands, but we tried to simulate that as best we could as far as, spring game, a lot of people around, loud music, things like that. Our scrimmage too, the fan day. Hey, I told our band director, man, I wanted it loud. They play when you want to play. I was like, I don't care if you're playing, while the quarterback calling the signals. Just those are the type of things that you try to do. And
Right.
fortunately for us, we do have some players that have played in some SEC Power Four stadiums. Obviously, last year some of our guys played at Auburn, but you take a guy like Quad when he was at Georgia State. He played up in Knoxville at Tennessee. So I don't think that the crowd is really going to affect him. But there are some young guys that we've got on our team that'll be playing. And one of the things we're going to do on Friday when we get to Fayetteville, we're going to take the team to the stadium. I think that's important. Having a lot of new guys that haven't been on that type of stage, taking them over to the stadium, just to have them. I don't want Saturday to be the first time they look up and they say, hey, it's going to be 60-some thousand in here. So that's pretty much all we can do. And, I think our other coaches have talked about it, and they probably can give you some other answers to that question.
Yeah, I think for me, man, I've been blessed to play, at these types of stadiums a lot. Being that I played at Alabama, so I think one of the things that kind of gets lost, when you're playing in games like this is, yeah, there are going to be a lot of people out there screaming, and they're going to be loud. They're going to be throwing things. They're going to be saying stuff. But I think everything still kind of all goes back down to preparation. How did we prepare? Are we out here doing things that we know we can do versus trying to do something, that, maybe something that we can't do because of the type of game it is or because of the type of atmosphere it is. Are we staying true to what we do as Bulldogs? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we running what we do every single day? Are we running what we're good at? And I think that kind of helps with nerves with our players when you step into that type of situation because they're familiar, that they're hearing things that they feel confident about, that they know that we can, that they know that they've learned already, that they've kind of mastered in a way. So I think that's one of the things that, it's definitely one of the things we're going to do offensively to help combat with those nerves because, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to that part. There are going to be some nerves. It is what it is. And I try to also, tell guys, especially the beginning of a season, the beginning of a game like this right here, emotions are going to be super high, and, those guys are going to be running around. It's going to be their first game of the season. Their crowd is going to be loud. They may make some plays in the beginning, all right? But we got to try to stay even keel. We can't have the big ups and downs in the plays. We just got to stay even keel, continue to play, continue to keep chopping that tree, and good things are going to happen. And you just got to be ready because I tell my guys all the time, what are you going to do if we're down 21-0? And what are you going to do if we're up 21-0? It's got to be the same thing no matter what. So we're going to go out and play. We're not, like I said, we're not intimidated. We're going to go out and play, and we're going to give it our best shot.
Well, it's going to be a great atmosphere, with us guys playing in the SEC. I know definitely it's going to be a great atmosphere. Like I tell our guys, those guys put their pants on just like we do, one leg at a time. So We just got to go out there and fight and be physical and run to the ball, and everything's going to work out. As long as you're prepared, you can get lined up and you just play football. When you make that first contact, you're going to feel it, and everything going to be at ease. You just got to get that nervousness out, and then everything's going to play just like a football game. You're going to have to get your keys, your assignments, and you got to make the plays that you're supposed to make, and everything's going to work out.
From a special team standpoint, I think that's the biggest thing that Chris and Dennis both hit on. We just got to go be who we are. We've got to make sure that, it's going to be fun for our guys to play there. It's going to be fun to coach there. We know what the crowd situation is going to be, because just the size of the stadium alone. But at the same time, if we can stay calm and enjoy the moment, let the game come to us. And when we have our opportunity, like Dennis said, we got to be ready to make a play. And that's the bottom line, because I know one thing. When you make plays on the opponent's field, sometimes that crowd ain't as loud as it used to be.
Right.
So that's what we got to do. Dennis said it best. When we can make our plays, we got to make our plays, whatever side of the ball it is. And if we do that, we'll hear a little lulls in that big, loud crowd.
Nice. All right. I kind of want to move in a different direction and talk about our first home game. And we're talking about atmosphere. What atmosphere, and we have the Bulldogs so watching and listening, and we'll watch the replay. What atmosphere do y'all need for our home opener at Louis Cruz Classic from Bulldog Nation?
Well, first thing I want, I've been talking about it the entire offseason. Not just the first game, but we got 5 home games. And my thing is we need a packed stadium, and we need everybody in there at kickoff. Loud, energy, juice, just bringing everything they got and giving that to our team, because young people, especially young student athletes, man, they feed off of that. They want the fans in the stands. They want the student body, the alarms. They love that. And I've talked about our fans doing their part. Because the team, we're working to do our part, and if they come do their part, we feel like we can have a whole lot of success, and they'll be a big part of that.
Yeah, I'm like Coach say, man. Not only do we want it, we need it. We need the fan support. For every game that we step out there at Louis Cruz Stadium. Our guys have worked hard. It's been a long off season for them, and for them to step out on their home field for the first time. They're going to be feeling the same way Arkansas is feeling this weekend. It's stepping out into their home stadium, and we want our guys to feel the same way. We want them to come out to a packed field, with maroon and white everywhere. We want to see the little bullies everywhere. Any type of support that we can get, from the city of Huntsville and from our fans, it's just going to help us, and it's going to make those guys, play and lock in that much harder. So our atmosphere, we would love for it to be awesome at every game that we play this year.
Well, it's a new season, a new team, and it's the chase, and we're off, and we're going to play with some attitude, with some juice, and we need to just get live, and the fans need to come get on board with that, because this year's going to be exciting, and we need the fans. We need to bring their barbecue grills, their kids, and bring them out and enjoy this good football game.
That's right.
I think the other thing too is our university is growing, right? We added a lot more students to the freshman class. I think it's probably a record number of freshman class. So I would challenge the students as much as the local community to come on over and see it. There was a soccer game yesterday on campus, and that street was packed with, I'm sure it was a lot of parents and all, but our new students, our new freshmen, they need to get involved because of the fact, like Chris said, it's a new staff and, new start for Alabama A&M football. And we need those guys to come out.
Hey, big echo to the barbecue grills, like Coach Shellen said too. We need them barbecue grills. I need to smell that smoke in the air.
And listen, if y'all are dropping fish, I'm your cousin. Hey, cousin. I'm
All
just going to
right.
stop by with my plate. And I'm going to go back in the stadium.
Okay, I'm sure you guys have got the 2 deep rosters, who's going to be on the bus or the plane, going to Arkansas. So and I know the goal is to win the game, but evaluation, what are you all looking for as far as evaluating, because we know the 2 deep for this game may not be the 2 deep for next game. So what are you looking for besides effort in this game versus Arkansas?
Well, I know for myself, we're always looking for how guys are going to go out and play. One of our coaches on our staff, Coach Ronald McKinnon, man, he said something a few years ago. He talked about going out and facing that stranger, that guy that you hadn't been practicing against in spring ball and in camp. How are you going to perform when you're playing against that stranger? And obviously, like you talked about, we feel really good about the effort, but what about the focus and the execution? What about when that guy wins a rep against you? How are you going to come back the next rep? Are you going to hang on the last play? Or are you going to move on to the next play? So there are a lot of things that we are looking for in this ball game, because we've got some guys on this football team that we've never been in a real game with before. And sometimes you just don't know how guys are going to respond, how they're going to act in certain situations. So we're looking for a lot in this first game.
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. Offensively, I know one of the things we talked about as a staff today as we were starting to set goals is we want to try to have a goal of reaching an 80% execution rate on every play, meaning everybody's doing what they're supposed to do at least 80% of the time on every play. Now, we know sometimes we're going to get beat, and that's fine. That's football. But are we doing what we're supposed to do? I think if that's one of the biggest goals that we're going to have. And if we can complete that goal, that's going to give us an opportunity to be successful, not only in this game that we're playing Saturday, but, in the games in the future. We're not going to say anything about yards or points, at this point in time. But, right now, just at an execution, level, can we do it 80% of the time with the guys that we have on the field? And like I said, if we can do that, we feel like we got a chance to be okay.
Well, on defense, we got to start with alignment. We have a thing called Axe Curve. It's alignment, stance, key, and responsibility. So if we can get lined up, I think we're going to be okay, because we've taught these dogs how to hunt. And they got to get to the ball and make something happen when they get there. But the first thing they got to be able to do is line up and do the things that we have taught them to do. So once we get that done, I think we're going to be all right on defense.
From a special team standpoint, I think you probably, when you first asked the question, it's a competition within the competition. We've got some new players that we added. We've got some old players that we, are still able to coach. I think the biggest thing for us is to show that, we can compete on a high level, play level-headed, not have a bunch of penalties that are going to set the offense or defense back in field position. So from our standpoint, we keep pairs and spares. We might not have 2 deep all the way across the board. We might have a better player that's right guard on punt that could have to play left guard on punt. So that's kind of how we built our roster from the standpoint of special teams, is just making sure we go out there and compete every play and try to make sure that we take care of our job. We're 111 of 11. We can't be the whole 11 guys. We got to be ourselves, and then we'll be able to take advantage of that opportunity when it does come.
Coach Shay, I wanted to ask, more so I'm curious to know, so you talked about how you guys address the team, how you preparing for this game, the atmosphere and everything, but have you had any players, whether it be a freshman or one of the seasoned players, come and approach you with like that one-on-one conversation about this upcoming game and how they're feeling? And I ask this question because a lot of times as HBCU fans, right, when we play these big time opponents, I hate to say this, but we know what the outcome is going to be. And so we kind of want to stay away from these games, but we never get the players' perspective. And through social media, we're starting to learn that, the players look forward to these games for all the reasons, that you name. So if you could share a little bit, if you had these conversations with some of the players that you spoke to one-on-one about the upcoming game and how they're feeling and their perspective.
Well, I haven't had any one-on-ones where the players have come to me about the game, so to speak, but I think Coach Schilling said it. I look at any football game. I've always looked at it as no matter what, that person across from me, he puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like I do. And so I've never looked at it and said, hey, we're outmatched, we don't have a chance, anything like that. If anything, I think the majority of our players, particularly the older kids that have played college football, are looking forward to the opportunity to compete with the players at Arkansas because of them being in the SEC and some of those guys being on NFL draft radar and all that type of stuff. So that's big for our guys. That's why, they're actually looking forward to the game because they get an opportunity to go out and compete against guys that are considered possible NFL guys, some of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got a couple things here from the group. I need to go back here. Miss Clarine gonna get me. So Wild Wayne, please announce that all fans to be at the field house 10:30, not 10:29. But you come early if you want to, but come 10:30 Friday morning to see the team off and cheer them on. All right, make sure you do that, Bulldog fans. All right, the other things I want to get to. As former players, do you guys get butterflies as coaches before the game starts? Anybody that wants to jump on it?
I played so damn long ago, it'd be a gas pain more than it'd be a butterfly. but I'll tell you one thing that I do know this coaching staff. We got a great group of coaching staff that played college football. I know every one of us would like to be the guy that could put that helmet on one more time and set a pad. And from that standpoint, that's what you miss as a coach, is being able to go out there, and because football can still be a violent game. It just has to be sometimes played, with different rules, but it's still a violent game that we want to play physical with. And those are the things I miss some 40 years later.
Yep. I don't know about. I mean, I guess you could say a little bit of butterflies, and for me, it's just kind of like, before the game, just the long wait. I don't think it's really nervous. I just hate waiting. I wish we could just show up to the field and play. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I think that's the biggest thing for me. I think we get over there like 3 hours before the game, and we got to sit around in the locker room and look at each other, and it's just one of these days they're gonna come up with it. They're gonna make it to where we just pull up on the bus, get off the field, get in the pads, and and just go play. Man, I think it's just a long wait for me.
Well, Coach Alexander, to that point, I wish that I had that when I ran track at A&M, because we used to ride like 8 hours and show up at the track and be like, all right, we at the meet. It's time to stretch.
Yeah, man. That's a long ride right there, man. That's a long ride.
Hey, Wayne,
All right.
I had a question, Wayne. I didn't know if you're going to get into something else.
Yeah, I was going to go to go ahead. You got
it. No. Okay. So David typically asks this question, but he didn't this time. Pre-game, what are you guys listening to other than watching video, because we know you're gonna do that. That's what coaches do. What music are you listening to get you in the best coaching mood, so you can call the best plays, so you can adjust the right way? Coach Jones, we go work from the back this time. We're gonna start with you.
I'm ready for this.
I'm interested in this, Coach Jones.
Well, I'll tell you a story of an old guy I worked with years ago. I mean, he was old, coach, and he listened to heavy metal. And I can remember sitting behind him and listening to him thinking, man, this dude is listening to heavy metal. He was probably 60 years old at the time, about as old as I am now, obviously. But I'm more of a movie guy on the plane going over there, and I'm more about looking at the weather and the wind and all that. So I'm not really a music guy on game day, because the players, thank God Sam made the rule, you got to wear your headphones, because I just don't want no more distractions.
Got it.
I'm the wrong
Makes
one
sense.
to ask about what movie, or what music I'd pick.
Oh yeah, you looking at that win because you for the kickers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Coach Shelling? You listen to some of that African music, or you got something else going?
Congo.
Well, actually, myself, I'm more of a meditative type guy. I'll sit back and close my eyes and think about and visualize the game and visualize things that happen and think about the plays, the favorite plays. So I'm getting in that zone, really just thinking about what I've watched all during the week. So I usually don't listen too much music. I'll watch the fellas and see how they're moving and see who's excited and things of that nature. I won't listen to much music, but I am an R&B guy, if you must say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to piggyback on Shelling like this, man. It's different when you're a play caller, versus being a position coach. When you're a position coach, you ain't really got to lock in as much as you do when you're a play caller. So when I was just an O-line coach, I mean, my headphones, I had Jeezy playing, I had
There we
some,
go. There we
some
go.
3-6 Mafia playing. I'm from Memphis now, so got a little bit of 8-Ball MJG playing. I'm getting ready to go. But now I'm on the other side of it, man. So I gotta kind of keep my mind level headed, man. So I gotta be ready to make adjustments on the fly, all that. But I do try to give myself a little bit of a 2-minute turn up, like we talk about right there before we run out on the field,
Right.
because I still think it's a an excitement factor for me. Just being able to still coach and play this game and still be able to kind of mentor these young men and watch them go out and play. So I still get excited about it, and I still try to live in that moment, like they do right before they run out on the field.
Well, I've kind of gotten away a little bit from the music. Being a head coach is just so many things that are going through your head. So many things that you're kind of watching and just paying attention to. That is hard for me to really get into the music like I used to. And it's kind of like the question about the butterflies, man. It's just so much on my plate, and I'm one of those guys that I feel like I'm working all the way up till kickoff. Somehow, some way, whether it's just going over to a player and maybe a little tip or reminder here, or just checking on the pulse of the team, and just how our guys feeling, how the warm-ups go, and all that type of stuff. So, not a lot of time for music for myself, but every now and then I like to listen to a little gospel kind of, some Pastor Mike, big. It's going to be big, things like that. Really kind of get me going though.
That's some awesome stuff. So we are here, and all of the talk is been talked. All the camp has been completed. You guys have gotten through some really stifling heat, and you guys got some great team bonding. We've greatly enjoyed dog days. That stuff has been really, really cool to see that be put out there. where everybody's excited. Everybody's excited for this new regime. They're excited for 3:15 p.m. Central on SEC Network. Right down there in Razorback Stadium. Donald Reynolds, Razorback Stadium, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Where your 2025 Alabama A&M Bulldogs take the football field ready to roll.
Let's get it.
The chase is on. The chase is on.
The chase is on, baby. It is on. Bulldog Nation out there, wherever you are, you better get with us because special things are on the way. Coach Shade, I'm going to give you the last word. Talk about Saturday and what in the season and what you need from the people and what they can expect to see. You get the last word here.
Well, first thing I want to say, man, is we had a good camp. It's been a good all season, not just by the players and the coaching staff, but our support staff, our athletic trainers, our equipment people, our video people, our administration. It's so many people that make a football program what it is, and just thankful for everybody that's involved. And we're excited to go out to Arkansas and put on display this 2025 edition of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. And so the chase is on.
Indeed it is. Well, gentlemen, this has been a pleasure to have you all on our show, and definitely looking forward to having you on again this season, if time allows. And Coach Shade, I'll definitely be talking to you on Tuesday during the coaches conference. And let's go Bulldogs. Let's go
Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Let's go.
Gentlemen, appreciate y'all,
All right.
man. Good luck.
Appreciate
Thank
y'all.
you, guys.
We'll see y'all soon.
Look Saturday, fellas.
All right.
Right, SEC Network.
Yes, sir.
That's right. That's right.
I almost hit the end button.
I just have to say, as a person that just loves Project Pat, listen. That's my type of carrying on. Yes, all of that.
Hey, and he said 8-ball and MJG. I was like, hey.
I can relate to Coach Alexander. He was talking about, sitting back, waiting, and just wanting to get on the field because and speaking from a band perspective, when I was in the band, the mentality we had was, we finna go and blow the other band out. And so there were times where we get to the stadium, we just sitting there as well, waiting for the game to start, waiting for us to march in and just like, man, can we get this over with? So I can definitely understand where he's coming from with that. Just getting to the stadium, putting your pads and everything on and just go.
Yeah, I remember playing football in middle school and high school. One thing I hated was halftime. Like I hated to get, because now you got to reset.
Yeah,
like you go in, you got to go sit down. Like I like to keep it going. We just give you 5 minutes. We'll be all right. I hated that 20 minute halftime, man. Like let's keep it going. But that's when I was young and had energy. Now I need 2 days.
You appreciate it now, don't you?
Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 days halftime.
Ice the knees down.
Yeah, man. So, all right. So we got a new segment coming in this last segment of the show. And we're gonna go ahead and bring it up. We tried to say this in the first couple of seasons and we didn't do it too well. So we just gonna bring this up on screen here. You know what time it is, y'all, with week 1 in the SWAC. So these SWAC game picks are brought to you by Rita's Italian Ice and Frozen Custard, located in Madison, Alabama. Whether you're craving something cool and refreshing or smooth and creamy, Rita's has you covered. Stop by today and taste the flavors that make every game day sweeter. Rita's Italian Ice and Custard, located at 8042 US Highway 72 West in Madison. So this is our Rita's Chill and Pick'em segment.
Shout out to Rita's.
Shout out to Rita's.
Look, man, y'all said it. Y'all did it. Shout out to Rita's. All right. So everybody, you know what it is. In the comments, as we bring the games up, you make your picks, you make your comments. You can throw a score up there if you want to. Nobody's going to be mad at you. This is all just family tonight. So let's get it rolling if we can with the very first game that is Thursday night. You got it going down right there in the Magic City at Protective Stadium. Alabama State entering year 4 under the regime of Eddie Robinson, going down to Trent Dilfer in those UAB Blazers. T. Gooden, you are up first.
UAB, no questions asked.
All right, Jay the Great.
So I'm gonna be at this game, and I kind of expect like a little mini classic vibe. So with that being said, y'all know UAB gonna win, but I do expect Alabama State to make a statement in the first half. I really do.
Okay, Corey.
For Trent Dilfer's sake, UAB.
Listen,
I just need that UAB for his sake.
All right, so Dave, is it a clean sweep?
It's a clean sweep, man. UAB.
Okay, OJ said UAB by 1,000. I like this score right here, though. I think Reese Dawg.
Yeah.
I think this is about where you at.
yeah.
All right. This is a really, really good one. All right. Alcorn State, second year with Cedric Thomas. They go down to Natchitoches, Louisiana, to face Northwestern State, who is trying to win their first game in 1,000 days. Yes, you heard it right. They went 0-12 last year.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Sneaky game. Dave, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Alcorn.
Okay. Corey.
Man, I lost 1,000 games. That's almost over 2 years. And I know Prairie View beat Northwestern last year, and Grambling beat them the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So Alcorn better win this game. Alcorn.
All right. Jay.
Alcorn, that rep for the SWAC, so we can get an out of conference win so far this season. So, out of conference FCS win. So, Alcorn.
All right, T. Gooden, do we have a clean sweep?
No, sir. I'm going Northwestern State. I think they went 0-12. I think they hungry this year. I'm gonna go with Northwestern State.
They real hungry.
I think it's gonna be tight though. But I think they'll win. It's at home. They got the crowd back. First game of the year. I'm gonna go with Northwestern State, but I've been wrong before.
Yeah.
Said, no, sir.
1,000 days since they last won, man. That's
Jesus.
wild. All right. Oh, here we go. Pitbull Stadium down there in Miami with the opener of the regime of Willie Simmons, head coach of the FIU Panthers, hosting Bethune-Cookman, Raymond Woody, third year. A lot of pressure. T. Gooden, you first.
Now, when we say Willie Simmons, we mean FAMU old coach.
FAMU's old coach, Willie Simmons.
Correct. So I'm gonna go with Coach Simmons, man. He was a good coach at Bethune. I think he's used to the type of talent that Bethune has. I think he might have the little edge in this game. So I'm gonna go with FIU.
All right, Jen.
Come on, man. Come on. FIU.
Corey.
Man, Willie Simmons finna make a statement this first game. FIU by a mile.
Dave, do we have a clean sweep?
Clean sweep. Willie Simmons ain't gotta do that much.
Man, Benny said Willie about to bust the scoreboard.
Right.
All right. Oh, whoo. All right. Listen, I don't have to go to the panel on this one. The only thing I'm gonna say, Pine Bluff. Oh boy, we gonna pray for you.
Let's say L-Ray.
APB.
Yeah, I was on with listen, I was on the call and on yesterday, and Doc, shout out to my boy Doc. Doc told Coach Hampton, he said, watch out for the tortillas, because they throw tortillas every time they score a touchdown down there in Lubbock. Yeah.
Hey, one thing though, Coach Hampton gonna have them boys pumped up, because he gonna give one hell of a pep talk. He gonna have them boys amped up.
They're gonna need it.
Man, Reese Dog said Texas Tech by mercy rule. Man, if there was one, that would save them. All right. Yeah, our game here. All right. So this is what I want to say about this game here. All right. Listen. Our boys, you heard what the coaches said. We just go out here, man. We compete. Doesn't matter about crowd noise. Doesn't matter about anything. Listen, everybody already thinks you're going to lose the game, right? Outside of our locker room. So, and even outside, I mean, it doesn't matter. You go out here, you get your season started right. It doesn't matter what the result is, as long as you go out here and you give 110% and you take away some things that can propel you into the next phases of your season here. I love this matchup for us because this is a great opportunity to go out here and test yourselves. What better way to test yourself than against a team that won a bowl game last year? So, yeah, man, let's go.
That's right.
What y'all looking forward to? T, you go first. What you looking forward to?
So I'm looking for I'm always gonna look for the dub, no matter who we play. I'm always gonna look for the victory. But other than the victory, and we kind of talked about this the other day, you know, I want to look and see how the guys play football. You know, I want to see the difference from what I've seen the previous years to now. You know, how they execute things like that. And I want to see the coaches. I want to see how the coaches, you know, interact. I want to see how they adjust. I want to see how, you know, they coach against coach their team. That, you know, like you said, the outside noise is, you know, saying that we're gonna win. ESPN has Arkansas 99% win the game was 1%. There's always 1% though. So as always, go Bulldogs.
That's right, Jay the Great.
Listen, A&M could be playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm still going to think my Bulldogs got a chance. So with that being said, like T said, just kind of piggyback off T said, I kind of want to see, you know, those individual matchups, our offensive line play, defensive line play. I just kind of want to see how they handle these high pressure situations. I'm excited. Listen, snacks ready, food ready, phone charged. I'm going to be hollering from Birmingham, Alabama. Go Bulldogs. We ain't checking for the bacon bits of Arkansas.
Corey.
Man, I think this game going to be better than most folks think it's going to be. You know, it's definitely going to be better than when they played Pine Bluff last year. Because they scored a touchdown on every drive.
70-0.
Yes, but what I'm looking at in this game is trying to ensure that everybody keeps their assignments. You know, no blown coverages. You know, just keeping your assignments on kickoff, staying in your lanes. You know, and just looking at assignments and just seeing those kind of things. That'll show what kind of growth we've had just looking at your assignments. And you know, and hey, if we're in it, you know, at the end, it put all the pressure on Arkansas. But I'm just looking forward to them going out and giving it all. And the readers informed me that if Alabama A&M scores a touchdown, anyone come there on Monday and say touchdown Bulldogs, is buy one, get one free at Readers on Monday.
Uh-oh.
The Bulldogs got to score.
All y'all better be rooting for the Bulldogs. You get your list, buy one, get one.
Score touchdown and go to Readers.
Can they mail me mine?
I'm pretty sure the mail. Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to call them like, hey, go Bulldogs. Now, if you could just mail it, just put the stamp on it.
All right, let's move. Oh, Dave, final comments on this game, man.
You know, I pretty much agree with what all you guys said. For me, I just want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. This is going to be a tough team to go up against, and I want to see everything that the coaches talked about, us going out there playing Bulldog football, everybody staying to their assignments and just, you know, fighting till that clock reaches 0.
All right. Now let's continue on. Yeah, NAIA Langston. Yeah. Enjoy your time in Shreveport.
I didn't even know Langston had a football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we got to pick. We know who's gonna win this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Let's go.
We're going Grambling, right? Oh, now this will be.
Oh
here we
yeah,
go now.
oh yeah. Now Southern, there's a lot of things have been said about what happened on Saturday night down there in Atlanta. They left a lot of meat on the bone. They got shredded on offense. I mean on defense, but there are some things that you have to like on their offense though. A couple of those long runs. They got some guys. Now they go down here in the opener of the regime of Coach Terrell Buckley, who says, "Buckle up."
It's
All
in the
right.
same valley.
Dave, you're first.
Okay, so we know normally a Valley is always picked to lose, but I think Valley may have a chance looking at what Southern did last week. If Valley can stop Southern's run, then I think Valley got a good chance.
Okay. But what's your pick?
Oh, Valley. I'm going with Valley.
All right.
They trying to get one of those political answers, man.
Go ahead, Corey.
Well, this is Valley's first game. Southern played a game, and I think Southern want to get that bad taste out their mouth. And I think Valley gonna put up a fight at the beginning, but I think Southern is gonna be too much. So I expect Southern to redeem themselves and to get everything back in order, because if they lose this game, hey, it's gonna get ugly. So, but I think Southern will bounce back.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, it's gonna be Southern. I know that Southern has caught a lot of jokes, but I mean, Coach Trey Oliver had their team prepared. Like, he's a veteran, so don't put too much stock into that first game. Man, it was week 0, so I fully expect Southern to bounce back and have a real strong showing against Mississippi Valley.
All right, T.
So I'll say this, and I'll make my pick. If Southern plays the entire game like they played the first half, they'll win. If they play even the second half like they played the second half of last week, they're gonna lose. I think they'll play the entire game like they played the first half. So I'm gonna go with Southern 3 scores.
All right, and this game is a non-conference game for those scoring at home. All right, next one. Hey, down there in the vet, the HBCU Go game. Hampton, 5-7 last year out of the CAA. Man, lost a lot of close games last year going down there against the defending HBCU national champions, Jackson State, with high hopes this year to make it 4 out of 5 in the SWAC. T. Gooden.
Hey, I'm gonna go with Jackson State on this one, man. Like I think that's an easy pick for me. I'm gonna go with JSU. They'll be 1-0 over there on HBCU Go Saturday.
Jen?
Again, JSU, but Hampton will have a good showing, but JSU is gonna pull it out.
Corey.
Hampton plays tough competition in the CAA, but this is at home, first game of the year. And I think Jackson just will have too much talent and they will overpower them. I think they'll really take over after the halftime.
Dave, clean sweep.
Clean sweep, JSU.
All right. Now for the moment of truth. The last two on the slate. We got the Orange Blossom Classic down in Miami.
Oh, Lord.
The Howard Bison coming down to Florida, Miami to take on the FAMU Rattlers and Coach Cozy's second season. RJ Jefferson was named starting quarterback, and we'll see what happens with the rest of it. FAMU looking to bounce back after a lackluster season by their standards. T. Gooden, what you got?
Man, I don't think those Howard boys, man, the type of the climate that they are in, like for the most part of their life, I don't think they're gonna be used to the heat and humidity that Miami's gonna give them. Them Florida A&M boys, they've been practicing in the swamp all summer. The boys, they're gonna understand the conditions. So I think just the conditioning alone, Florida A&M will come out on top. I'm glad to get to see good early film of Florida A&M though, so I can know what they're gonna look like the rest of the season. But I just don't think Howard's gonna be ready for these guys, just because the climate, and it should be pretty warm on Saturday too down in Miami, I think.
Yeah. All right, Jen, what you got?
Man, fam, you about to beat the horns off Howard. It's gonna be a home game for him. It's FAMU is gonna get one for the SWAC. FAMU is gonna get one for the SWAC.
All right, Corey.
I actually think it's going to be a competitive game. I'm not sold on Florida A&M. They got a new quarterback. I still think, you got to have a solid quarterback to win. And I still don't think that they have the solution. However, I'm picking Florida A&M to win this game mainly because of the weather. But I think it'll be a competitive game. And but I got Florida A&M.
All right, Dave. Do we have a clean sweep?
Just to break it, I'm gonna say Howard. No, I'm gonna go with FAMU.
Look, Ronald Hunt said FAMU, Florida A&M to beat the Grey Poupon out of Howard. That's
right.
A new one.
They're gonna beat the Grey Poupon out of them. The Mecca. They're gonna get the Mecca beat out of them.
Listen, I'm in trouble. We got a Howard alum in the chat. I'm in trouble. I done said too much. My bad. I still mean it though. SWAC up, me act down. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
The 40th Labor Day Classic. Lord Jesus, this one has gone up.
This should definitely be the game of the week.
A lot of notches.
This should be the game of the week right here.
If you've been under a rock, you should have saw that press conference yesterday. All of the stuff has been making rounds. Look, Scotty did a show on it. G did a show on it. It's been a lot of talk about Chris Dishman, what he had to say, and also what Tremaine Jackson had to say in response. Lord, it was hilarious. But you know what? After all that talking, it's now time to get down and play this game because this is a huge game. This is a conference game to start off, and it's going to be down there in Shell Energy Stadium Saturday night in Houston. Lord, I'm excited to hear what this panel has to say. Dave, you are first.
So I think Texas Southern won the last one, right?
They did.
And
Bigly.
so I'm going to go with Prairie View on this one. Coach Jackson got a great resume, and he's known for building team. We saw what he did with Valdosta, and just his excitement and how he talks about the team. It gets you excited as well, and that's what you want to see with the program. So if their playing ability and their intensity comes out the way that Tremaine Jackson been talking, I'll go with Prairie View on this one.
All right, Corey.
Woo, this is the unknowns for both of them, but and one of these coaches gonna have to eat all that crap they've been talking. But
I think one more than the other though.
I'm gonna go with the home team. I think I'm going with Texas Southern. I think they've been in this moment, and I just think they as a team wise, they understand what they need to do. I think Texas Southern will win this game.
All right, Jay the Great.
Listen, as a former Houston resident, I've attended this game. Y'all, this game is intense already. And when you sprinkle in two coaches with huge personalities, it just takes it to another level. With that being said, I'm going with the home team, Texas Southern.
All right, T. Good.
It's man, I think it's cute that they're trying to make this in-state rivalry kind of on the Alabama A&M level. I appreciate that.
Ain't nobody gonna do that now.
Yeah, so I think that's why I say I think they're trying, and I even appreciate it. Yeah. So there's been a lot of trash talk, man, during this game, prior to the game, and hopefully with both of the coaches talking trash. I hope it's a good game. Like, I don't want it to be a blowout either way it goes. Mm-hmm. I hope it's good. Hope it's a good game. I'll be watching on SWAC TV. But I'm going to go with the home team. I'm going to go with Texas Southern for the victory.
All right. Just one time for the context here, man. Just one time. Just one time. I'm a
you about to do it, Wayne? Are you about to do it?
yeah.
Coming out to see in the stadium. Make sure when you leave that you take a piece of grass, because when you leave on Saturday, you're gonna be taking a lot of grass. And also, thank you for wearing the Take a Selfie color suit. All right.
It's that pants to him that takes me down. It takes me down through there.
Hey, but not to be outdone, the other side.
Okay,
The other side.
Mm-hmm. So, but I understand what it is and what some people have to do. We don't have to do that. We just go about our business, man. And we've been on this hill working for a long time. And we're going to get a chance to come off. And so, yeah, there is a different level of focus with us right now. But we've been like this since January 7th. We don't allow people to toy with our kids, our program. This ain't your uncle's Prairie View A&M football team. This is us. It's a new field around here. And we don't take shots or disrespect kindly.
Do you think, though, that some of that is just part of the game or part of this game and trying to generate some excitement? Do you see it as that at all, too?
Man, I went to Oak Forest Elementary, class of 94. Mm-hmm. I didn't go to recess. I don't play. We don't play. That's not us. It's not what we do about it. So I don't know what that is. I just know how we do things. And so shout out to Miss Rector, my 5th grade teacher, for not making me go to recess because I didn't play the game.
This man said he didn't. This man said he don't even go to recess in 19 and told us when he finished elementary school.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie though. That's a bar though. I ain't even gonna lie. That's a bar. I want that on the shirt. I ain't go to recess. I don't play. You know, I like this.
I don't play no games.
It's a good game, man. Hopefully, it is a good game.
Yeah.
Hey, the other line that he had that was dope though. He said, "Oh yeah, we gonna come off this hill. We've been up it. We gonna come off this hill."
Now that's why I disagree because what hill? Thank you. It's only one hill in the SWAC. We let y'all. You know, I know I got a little one.
Hey, I'm just laughing, man. I'm laughing. Look, he said the Notorious B.I.G. versus Tupac. Man, come on. Hey, man. So tonight, in all seriousness, though, but that was the segment. Shout out to Rita's, man. Appreciate all of the love from everybody tonight, man. This is exciting, man. Football is finally back. It's gonna kick off in full earnest on Thursday nights. You guys are gonna be down there in Birmingham watching Alabama State lock horns with UAB.
Yep,
that'll be nice. And then we'll all be watching our Bulldogs, our beloved Bulldogs, on Saturday, and all that great stuff. So, shout out tonight to Coach Sam Shade, also Coach Alexander, Coach Schelling, and also Coach Jones, man. So we had the head coach, the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and the special teams coach. So that was a great time. Just thank those gentlemen. And once again, remember about the pep rally and the send-off, 10:30 a.m. Friday morning. Make sure that you get there and support if you can. And yeah, man, go Bulldogs. All right, so final thoughts tonight, Corey.
Hey, I'm just excited. Season's kicking off for our Bulldogs. Soccer got their first win, and so we head in the right direction. And hey, Bulldogs, score a touchdown so you can buy one get one free on Monday at Rita's. So we looking forward to it.
Dave, final thoughts from you, brother.
Go everybody in Huntsville, students, alumni, everybody go out and support all athletic teams.
Yeah, Jay the Great.
Listen, it's kickoff, football kickoff. I'm excited. It is a great day. It's a great time. it's a great year to be an Alabama A&M Bulldog.
Yeah, T. Gooden, final words from you, brother.
Yes, sir. And I just wanted to make sure, of course, we can't have everybody on all the time, but I want to also make sure I do give a shout out to the position coaches at A&M. Shout out to Coach Marco Coleman, defensive line coach, Coach Ronald McKinnon, linebackers coach Kenan Evans, quarterback coach, Jamal Fobbs, running backs coach, Antonio Carter, receivers coach, Lawan Lawson, tight ends coach, kickers coach, Richard Wilson, chief of staff, LaRon White, Jason Ma, senior office assistant, director of football operations, coach Nathan Jones, he's assistant special team coach, coach analyst Mackenzie Howard, quality control Jason Stuval, and quality control for the defense William Sims, defensive analyst Corey Thomas. So just want to make sure we give a shout out to those guys as well, because they do a lot of the work too to make sure our Bulldogs are ready. It's not just the coordinators; it's a whole lot that goes on to make sure that they are ready to play. So all those guys are appreciated. They put in a lot of work to have us something to be happy or complain about. So shout out to them.
Yeah. So for me tonight, I just wanted to just say to everybody that's out here in Bulldog Nation, and also just even everybody out there, HBCU land, man. Hey, it's a great day. It's a great time, man. Make sure you get out there. You support everything that your university is into. If you're an alum, make sure you're giving, and it's not always just giving with your money. It's also, you can give with your time, man. You can also help to recruit students to attend these illustrious universities, man, colleges and universities all over. Also, we just want to just say thank you again to all of our viewers, man. You guys come out. Many of you show up and you watch us every single week. You participate in the comments in such a mighty way, and we appreciate that. We also appreciate just the support that we get from the athletic department. Also, Dr. Wims, his whole cabinet. We appreciate all the support that we get. Bulldog Nation, we just want to make sure that everybody who can buy season tickets to football, make sure you can. Make sure you do that. If you can't buy season tickets, make sure you buy single game tickets. Bring somebody with you. Encourage folks in the neighborhoods, in the communities to attend, because this is a big movement that's taking place, and you definitely want to be a part of it. So from the Hill Podcast, we're just thankful. Shout out to our brother DT tonight. So for Corey C.K. Williams, Just Dave, Jay the Great, T. Gooden, I'm Wild Wayne Cartwright.
Hey, Wayne.
Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I don't know if we did this already or I might have just missed it, had a blank moment. Did we shout out Carson Vincent?
Oh, no, you know what? Hey,
we cannot leave without shouting our boy out.
Listen.
Do it. You got it, Dave.
We are here to give a big shout out to the only HBCU player drafted in the 2025 draft, Carson Vincent, for making the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes.
And shout out to the other HBCU players that made the roster as well. Quite a few. Actually, a lot of HBCU players made the 53-man roster for this season. So shout out to all of them, but especially shout out to Carson Vincent.
Yeah, man.
If you're good, they will find you.
They will find you.
Well, you know how hard it is. Like, I know we about to end, but you know how hard it is to even get to the league, even if you went to big schools like Ohio State, Alabama, Auburn. Mm-hmm. These guys that went to FCS schools that are predominantly black, got drafted, made it through training camp, beat out everybody around them. Those are not 90 plus men have to get cut to 53 and made the 53-man roster. That's big, man. Like,
and you look
if
all
you're
over.
Good, they will find you.
And you look all over. Dudes that played at big schools, they tails were getting cut left and right. So it don't matter about where you went to school. Like T. Gooden always say. Say it again for the people in the back, T. Gooden.
If you're good, they will find you. If you're good, they will find you. The all the pretty uniforms, and I got this Nike stuff at this school. It ain't worth nothing if you're on the bench. But if you're good, they will find you. You don't have to go anywhere. Like, if you're good enough, they will find you. That's all I got.
Hey, And on that note, we will see you next week. God bless you. Good night.
Peace.